Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Alicia Armendariz, and today I'm going to be talking about the 5 best luxury neighborhoods here in Colorado Springs. Now, Colorado Springs is not really known for being a luxurious city. It is a very clean and pretty city in my opinion. But in 2019, out of the 16,000 home sales that we had, only 104 were luxury homes. And by luxury, I mean those that sold for $1 million or more. So 104 out of 16,000. Yeah, Colorado Springs overall, I would say, is not a luxurious neighborhood, but it is very, very pretty because of where it sits, just kind of below Cheyenne Mountain, Pikes Peak Mountain. But I am going to talk about, if you are looking for some luxury living here in Colorado Springs, these are probably going to be the 6 best neighborhoods for you to look into. So if you guys have any questions over anything that I mentioned here today, please feel free to reach out to me. I am a licensed real estate broker here in Colorado, and I would love to help you with any of your real estate needs, or if you just have questions about living here in general, please feel free to reach out. And if you haven't already, please hit that subscribe button and hit that bell to get notified when I make new videos every week so that people like you can find information like this. So without further ado, let's get into it. So to begin, I'm going to start with the west side of town. The west side is very desirable altogether, but Kissing Camels. Kissing Camels is a luxurious gated community on the west side of Colorado Springs that is pretty much centered around the Kissing Camels golf course. That is a 27-hole golf course that is part of the Garden of the Gods resort. Now, this is a gated community. You have one entrance on the north end and one entrance on the east end, and they are guarded 24 hours. The golf course itself is a members only or guest of a member, or you are a guest of the resort for the evening. The community has been around kind of since the 1950s, and there are just a lot of custom builds. You're gonna find everything from the 1950s to present day, and on average, those homes are gonna be around 5,000 square feet and have an average price point of $1.1 million. Now, there are actually still quite a bit of lots that are available in this neighborhood that are just gonna have some really breathtaking views that overlook Colorado Springs. Just being on the mountain itself is gonna have some awesome views. Those lots right now are going for around $120,000 to, I believe, $300,000. So if you are looking to build your own beautiful dream home, there are definitely still lots available in this community. Kissing Camels is also part of the school district number 11. So sticking to the west side of town, we're gonna go even further west to Cedar Heights. Cedar Heights is also a gated community, just like Kissing Camels, and it also has a entrance on the north end and also a entrance on the east end. Cedar Heights sits behind Garden of the Gods and also just below Cave of the Winds. And so you're definitely going to be farther west from Colorado Springs itself, just kind of off of Highway 24. You're gonna have beautiful views of the city as a whole. You're also gonna have beautiful views of just Garden of the Gods, since you're kind of sitting above it. And Garden of the Gods is just this gorgeous park with amazing rock formations, and that just offers a lot of trails, a lot of hiking, a lot of biking, variety of things that you could do within Garden of the Gods park itself. But Cedar Heights does have a lot of trails and walking area that you can get from your neighborhood down to Garden of the Gods. It also sits just a little north of the quaint little town of Manitou Springs. So if you wanted to come down and do some shopping there or hang out and get food, that's another great option. It also sits off of Highway 24, which is going to be the main road that people here in town use to get through Woodland Park and also on to Breckenridge. If you want to visit any of the ski resorts here in Colorado on the southern end, we definitely have some unique resorts down here, and you're probably gonna take from Colorado Springs Highway 24. If you're up in Denver, you're gonna take I-70, but down here we have quick access from Highway 24. So the fact that Cedar Heights sits just off of that, that's pretty awesome. So the next luxury community that I'm gonna talk about on this list is up north. and that's going to be Cathedral Pines. Cathedral Pines is actually a sub area in Black Forest, and it's just a little north of Colorado Springs. Cathedral Pines sits on 810 acres of just a lot of luxury living. There's a lot of custom built homes. A lot of the homes out there are going to be on lots the size of 2.5 acres to 5 acres, and the average square footage is also going to be around 7,000. They have an average list price of 2.5, so those are definitely more higher end than what we're going to see in town. Cathedral Pines is probably about a 20-minute drive from downtown Colorado Springs. Cathedral Pines is a great neighborhood if you were looking for lots of access to hiking, open space. The community does have a event lodge that kind of sits in the heart of it, and they offer, wedding events and birthdays, bar mitzvahs, what have you. So definitely a great little area if you want to look into having a little bit more space. And the fact that you are on the east side of the interstate means that you're actually going to have full views of the Front Range, Pikes Peak, Cheyenne Mountain, and then also the Spanish Peaks farther down south. This community is located in the zip code 80908 and also in the school district 20. Now, if we venture even a little farther north, we're gonna go into King's Deer. King's Deer is a 1,800 acre luxurious community that sits on a 18-hole golf course, the King's Deer Golf Course. Now, that golf course is a public course, and the homes in this area are going to be around 5,000 square feet and have an average list price of $1.1 million. This community does have a lot of open trails and open space. Since you are on the east side of I-25, you're going to have great views of the entire Front Range, that Pikes Peak, Cheyenne Mountain, and even down south, the Spanish Peaks. Another great perk about this community is that you are close to Denver and Colorado Springs. You're about a 20-minute drive north of Colorado Springs and about a 40-minute drive from downtown Denver. You are about an hour drive from Denver International Airport and about 30 minutes from the Colorado Springs Airport. So even though this community, Deer Springs, is a little farther north than Colorado Springs itself, you are in a great place if you need to commute, if you need to travel and be at an airport, if you just need to get out and about between the two cities. A lot of people do here commute between Colorado Springs and Denver, so King's Deer is definitely a neighborhood that you might want to look into if you want that luxurious living, but also want to have quick access to either of those major cities on the Front Range. And then lastly, we're going to talk about the Broadmoor neighborhood. The Broadmoor is down southwest of Colorado Springs, right up against Cheyenne Mountain. And this community on average has 4,300 square feet of living. There's a lot of custom homes, so it's going to vary in size. It has an average sale price right now of about $1.2 million. I will say the one thing that makes this community unique versus the others that I mentioned here on this list is that the Broadmoor is not only just a residential community, it also has a lot of the city's main attractions. It has the Cheyenne Mountain Zoo. It shares the mountain with the Seven Falls, Helen Hunt Falls, and the Will Rogers Shrine. So you do have a lot of space because you have big lots here in the Broadmoor neighborhood, but you also have a lot of those tourist and just natural city attractions in the community also. Well, there you go, guys. That is Colorado Springs' best luxury communities here in town. If you guys have any questions over anything I mentioned today, like I said, please feel free and reach out to me. I would love to help you with your real estate needs or just talk to you more about living here in Colorado Springs, what that looks like, how can we get you in a home, how can we help sell your home. But in the meantime, if you haven't, please hit that subscribe button and that bell to get notified when I make new videos each week. And until next time, have a good one.